It is now time For Your Money. We're joined as always by David Nelson, CEO of Nelson Corp Wealth Management. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we're glad to have you with us once again.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. The Dow was roughly in at 6,000 in 2009. Has recently soared near 25,000. So generally speaking, have you been hearing from people that they kind of want to get more conservative with some of their allocations?
Shockingly, no. The reality is that during periods of time like now, late in the market cycle, a lot of individuals are the fear of being left behind. It's a real powerful influence as far as on individuals. So what we're hearing from individuals is not, should I get more conservative? Rather almost the exact opposite, as far as that they're contemplating as far as taking on more risk.
So what should people know in that regard?
Well, taking on more risk, we've got a slide coming up here. Taking on more risk, what I think people perceive, and what we're trying to illustrate here is the dotted line is basically a risk-free type asset. The solid line is I think what most people perceive as far as that they're doing. As we move out the spectrum, what they're basically doing is they're going to be taking on more risk. The problem is, I don't think people understand as far as by taking on more risk, as far as looking for more gain, that they're taking on an enormous amount of additional risk.
Sure. So how would you say kind of emotions come into play with this process? Obviously a very big part of it as well.
Emotions are the beginning and the end as far as of the process. And when we talk to individuals as far as about investing, and slide 2 I think does a really nice job as far as illustrating what they really are accepting as far as by taking on more risk. And that is that the perception is that they're here and that the gains go up, and yes, I'll take an incremental amount of additional risk, but they don't realize the magnitude. As an example, we've had 16 bear markets since the Great Depression. The average drawdown has been 38%. Well, when most people think of taking on more risk, they don't think they're signing up to take on additional 30, 40, potentially 50% drop. And what this, again, is trying to illustrate is that as the potential up here is created, this is also a big part that individuals need to be aware of. And again, I don't think most people realize that when you drop 30, 40%, the return that you need to make up as far as just to get back to where you were. As an example, a 40% drop translates in you need to make roughly 65% just to get back to where you were. And that's a real scary thing as far as when people understand as far as the potential downside. So at this point in the market cycle, we certainly would recommend individuals accept more risk, take on more risk. It's late in the cycle. This is a 9-year run that we've had here, and chances are this is roughly 2 to 3 years beyond the normal. And so the expectations as far as going forward, probably more this than this.
Very important information as always, David Nelson. Thanks
so
much for joining us.
Appreciate you having me on today.
Absolutely. And of course, if you missed any portion of the segment, we'll have it available for you online at ourquadcities.com.